So a couple months back, I saw a video, or not a video, a comment on one of my videos saying that they wanted to see the journey from a person who's just starting out like me to the person who's all the way at the top. Before we get started into this video, we got to do it to our Almighty, the Messiah, the plant. We got to hit a rip for Merc the Perk. There you go, Merc. That's for you, Big Daddy. All right, back into the business. How it normally starts is that you're a person that wants to play. You realize that you're really good in pubs, so then you start playing ranked. Let's say that you start playing ranked and you realize you like the competitive aspect. Like me, I love the competitive aspect to it. A lot of things that I did growing up were really competitive, so it was really competitive for me, and I love that drive through it. Anyway, you go through ranked and you play ranked. Let's say you hit diamond or you hit crimson. You're like, okay, this is fun, but I want to take this further, and you want to do that. Well, the first thing you need to do is get into Discords. The first thing you got to do is get into Discords. People are going to tell you to play aids, shoot bots, shit like that. Yeah, you should be already doing that, period. If you want to be good at this game, like me, I don't really care to make it to the top. I just want to make it somewhere, and I want to be better than everyone around me. It doesn't matter whether it takes money, time, practice, whatever it is. I want to do it because I want to be better than everyone around me. Well, anyways, you go through rank and you realize you're doing all this good stuff, but then you get into Discords and you play eights. You're playing guys who are crimson, iridescent, challenger players. You're playing golds, you're playing plats, you're playing diamonds, you're playing everything, right? And that's a great area you want to start. That's where I started, is playing eights, because those people are going to play a lot better than the people in ranked, and you're going to get a lot better playing in eights than you will playing in ranked. I would start with eights. And if you realize that, hey, I can do this, and you love the aspect of eights and stuff like that, maybe reach out to some of those Discords and say, hey, do you have a team that I can play on? And they'll evaluate you through some tryouts and stuff like that. That's how it normally works, is that you join a Discord, you text the owner or someone who knows the owner, or let's say someone says, hey, you're pretty good, you want to be on my team, that's in the Discord. That's just normally how it works. Once you get into the tryout, basically how it goes is that they'll have a bunch of people. Sometimes it's 10 people, sometimes it's 40 people. And they'll normally set up different private matches so people can play, and they'll normally put like some of their team players into it, or players that they're pulling in or wanting to pull in, they'll pull them into that tryout as well. After that aspect, you get 3 ranges before you even get to challengers. 3 tiers you got to reach. You got the first tier, C tier. That's all your plats, diamonds, stuff like that. People who are pretty good, but they're still getting better. That's where I'm at. It's the C team. I could probably play for a B team just because of my knowledge of the game right now, but my mechanics are not at the B or A team level. But that's where your plats, your diamonds, and a lot of people like to sandbag, so people who could be crimson like to sit back and play into those C teams. And then you get up to the B teams, which is tier 2, and that's your diamond crimsons. That's all it is. It's diamond 3, diamond 2s, and all the way up through crimson 3. And those guys are absolute shooters no matter where you're at. Some of them are cheaters, dude. I'm not going to lie. Some of them are fucking cheaters. Period. You hear me? I know who you are. Anyway, you get those guys. Those guys can always shoot. They're always going to know the game. So you got to evolve to that aspect. That's the part where I'm good at, is that I can evolve to the game. I can catch people, but my mechanics are not there. I understand that, and that's where I'm improving. And that's where you get a lot of like the really good players that are trying to get into challengers or haven't really reached a challenger team. They're just getting closer, you know. Then you get A tier teams, and those are the guys who are in and out of challenger teams, not the big like top 12 teams or top 8, top 4 teams, but more like the top 64, top 125, something like that. Like nothing special, but these guys are absolute fucking gunnies. These guys are absolutely amazing. I've played a bunch of them. So you got to get all the way from C to B to A. All right. Then once you get to A, you have to have something out in the world. If you're just sitting at home like I was for years, just playing, trying to get better and better and better, and you're not posting shit showing how good you're getting or things that you're understanding, your mechanics are getting better, no one's going to see it, period. So that is one reason why people say you got to post stuff, because if you're not going to get posted, you're not going to get found out. That's what happens through the entire span of esports Call of Duty. Everyone posted something on YouTube at some point, or fucking MySpace somewhere back in the day in 2011, 2012, when that shit really popped off. That's what you got to do. You got to post your stuff, and I'm not saying it's going to work immediately. It may not work for years. It may not. There's plenty of people. There's one guy that I know I've talked to on Twitch, and I've talked to him on Twitter. His name's Brack. And I believe he's on Huntsman right now. That guy is an older guy. He's practiced for years, and now he's finally getting his shot back into the challenger scene, and he's playing for Huntsman, which is amazing. I'm proud of that guy. Good job for him. But once you reach the challenger scene, there's different levels as well. So you went through C, B, and A. Good job. You're great. You're a shooter. You're certified him. Okay. Now you're in the challenger scene. This is where you're playing tournaments, CMGs, LAN tournaments. Now I'm not talking like NA, CDL tournaments. I'm talking like just the Misfits tournaments, some local tournaments, stuff like that. Those guys are always going to be fucking bangers. No problem. Where you go, you're always going to find somebody. So when you get into this aspect, it's a challenger scene. So you got to find a challenger team who wants you and is not going to just bump you in and out. There's a lot of other things that I'm going to get into that's going to determine what happens and what not. But you get into challengers and you find a challengers team. You find a challengers team. You basically build that team to where you give your best chances to get as many CDL points as you can. The more CDL points you have, the better you do. If you're into this far, you pretty much know. So after you get into challengers, you got to build your way up. So like if you do really good the first year, most people don't. A lot of people don't do good for great, like many years. So let's say you get into challengers, you got to get through the top 100 teams, the top like 50 teams, the top 30 teams, to like you slowly get better and better. And eventually as you're beating these like number one teams, because like Omid, Huntsman, Project 7, Bush, they all play in these tournaments because they want as much play time, as much content, as everything they can get. They're trying to push out as much as they can. They're doing just as much as the CDL is, and they're just not getting paid as much. So once you get the contact to those people, because you have to have contacts. If you don't have contacts to nobody, you're not going nowhere. That's why you need Discords. That's why you need YouTube. That's why you need Twitter. That's why you need TikTok. That's why you need Instagram. That's why people post everywhere when they do this stuff, because that just reaches you out. You could be on Instagram one day, Optic Hertz, Optic Methods, Optic Hitch. Somebody could be out there on just fucking Instagram one day, and your feed pop up on their thing one day, and they could be like, holy shit, this kid's frying. Who's he playing against? And it sees you playing against Project 7 or Notorious 7, sorry. Then it's not even a problem because they see you playing those high-level players, and it's going to be great. All right, that's how you get into that. All right, and once you get into the challenger scene, you got to be in the challenger scene and do well for many. So if you want more of this kind of content, thank you for watching. I can get more in depth for each section if you want. As always, peace.